Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the western side of the map, then we'll end with Team 2 on the eastern side of the map. We'll take a look at Team 1's northern side first, and then make our way southward. Starting with the orange player in the north. It is Outer Loper. Again, not to be confused with the Interloper. He is a UBF. He is a 1400. Moving on southward, we have in Stitch Blue, it is Tabernacle playing as an Aeon. He is a 1600. In about the middle of Team 1, we have in Imperial Grade is Kane playing as an Aeon as well. He is a 2000 rated. In Tropical Ocean Blue to his south, we have the UEF of Mimics. He is a 2100. He is tied for the highest rated player on his team and tied for the highest rated player overall also on his team. To his south, we have in Regal Purple, it is the Aeon of Puck Jr. He is a 1600. And rounding out Team 1, we have in Snow White, it is the Aeon of Charlotte as a 2100, tied with Mimics for the highest rated player on their team and in the game overall. So for Team 1 side of the map, it's pretty easy. They have 2 UBF, 0 Cybern, 4 Aeon, and then 0 Seraphim. So just UBF and Aeon on Team 1. Moving on to Team 2, let's do it reverse order. South to north, we have in Light Octane, it is Eco Player playing as UBF. He is a 1600. To his north, in Royal Blue or Lapis Blue, still getting used to the new names, it is System Failure playing as a Cybern. He is a 1600. In Chevy Crimson to his north, we have the Seraphim of Okpuk. He is a 1900, and I believe he's the only Seraphim in the game. To his north in Rust, it is the Cybern of Lu. He is a 2000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 2. In Batman Gray to his north, we have the Cybern of Amnesia. Again, hopefully I won't forget his name. He is an 1800. And rounding out Team 2, we have in Lightest Red Pink in the northeastern corner, it is Masmori playing as a Cybern as a 1900. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 1 UEF, they have 4 Cyberns, 0 Aeon, and then 1 Seraphim. So both teams have UEF tech, but Team 1 has Aeon, and Team 2 has Cybern and Seraphim. So that means that all factions are represented in the game, just not on each team. Team 2 lacking only the Aeon faction. And for these 12 players on the map, before they scoop it all up, let's take a look at their reclaim situation. Currently sitting at, that's not really a lot, let's say 9,000 mass, 750 mass per player. Not really worth writing home about. It's not bad. It's not the best, but it's something. And they're pretty well spread out in terms of that reclaim. Taking a look at the mexes as well. Very much kind of a very shallow amount of mexes in the middle of the map, bar these 2 Trimex positions here. It's kind of hard to tell, but the actual middle of the map is actually kind of a small little sinkhole, but it's realistically a flat map. Not 100% flat, of course, but pretty darn close in a map generator scenario. But in terms of other mexes on the map, we do see a nice little grouping of Trimex positions down here, and then a nice little 5-star mex position right there that Team 1's Mimics has grabbed. And then to the north, we see another try there. So there are mexes to be grabbed for pretty much everybody on the map, so we should see that number go up decently quickly, but we'll see what these players end up prioritizing. And I do want to shout out every single person. Thank you so much for helping the channel reach 2,500 subscribers, and that number keeps going up, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Again, you still have time to let your voice be heard on the vote on what you want the 2.5k thank you cast to be. I think currently Dual Gap is winning last time I checked. So if you don't want Dual Gap to win, go vote. If you want Dual Gap to win or any other thing to win, go vote, because why not? I think I'll probably stop the vote on Tuesday. So this is releasing on Sunday. So you have a couple more days to make sure you get your voices heard. And we'll move to the north, where we see a couple of gun upgrades starting for Team 1 and Team 2. Between Team 1's Outer Looper and then Team 2's Masmori. Masmori is done. He might be able to cancel Autolooper's upgrade if he pushes in. If not, he will be able to finish that upgrade. T2 started for Lou. Gun range started for Kane in the middle. And in the south, Combi-Com action already occurring. Team 1 and Team 2 already hot and heavy here. We have Charlotte versus Eco. Eco continuously pushing in. T2 Tech already online for Charlotte, so went a little bit more for the technology game rather than the Team 1 spam game. And it's kind of serving them decently. Dropped into the yellow, but this will again heavily favor Team 1 as the game continues, at least as of right now. We do see some reinforcements in the north inbound from system failure, and even the comm of Puck Jr. to try to assist Team 1. And again, Charlotte is losing hit points pretty quickly. Eco focusing on the commander. We do see a couple of blazes. They're still trying to mop up the rest of those Team 1 forces, but again, once the Team 1s are done, then it's going to be a blitz down of that comm Eco player. Not probably going to get the 1-star vet. We do see Charlotte almost at 1-star vet himself. And more units are inbound. Puck unit trying to cut off reinforcements. And now we see Eco player not looking too great. Again, the Blazers are now behind him, so attacking on 2 fronts at this point. And it might just be a murder-suicide walking down one of the highest-rated players of the game. Oh, little bit of booping, and there it is. There is the confirmed murder-suicide from Team 2's Eco. He did end up causing his comm to go critical to ensure the death of Charlotte, which means Team 1 loses a 2,100 for Team 2's 1,600. Someone argue that that is a fair trade, at least in favor for Team 2, because of the 500-point rating difference. But that does mean one player on each team does get an additional base because of that. It looks like the base in the south goes to System Failure, while the base goes to Mimics. Maybe transfers over to Puck Jr., but we'll see what that is going to be transpiring. We do see Puck Jr. is actually on a little bit of an annoyance because those Team 1 bombers are circling overhead, causing him some headaches. Needs to take some ibuprofen or something. We do see shield start for Team 1's Kane in the middle. Speed is online, so mini sniper tank, maybe? Gun started for Ocpuck there in the east. He's probably going to be done. Maybe he'll go for Nano. He'll probably actually go for actual regen, probably, if he does go for an upgrade. Just keep his units alive a little bit longer. We do see T2 started here for Amnesia to the north. Not done yet, but has been started. Oh, it's been restarted. There it is. Progressing quite nicely to finish that upgrade off. And with that, not even before 10 minutes on the clock, we see the first and second deaths of the game. And first blood goes to, both of them, technically. Technically, Eco player caused himself to blow up, so he caused the death of Charlotte. I would argue that he would have died anyways, given those blazes were behind him and shooting at him constantly. So honestly, it's kind of a toss-up if Charlotte maybe would have gotten out of it. I don't think they would have, but you never know. There could be that little bit of booping that could get Charlotte out of range and away from danger. But nano repair started for Okpuk, not going for regen. Maybe going to go for regen next. Shield almost done for Kane there to the west. Gun started for Team 1's Outer Looper to the north. It's still progressing with that gun upgrade, if I'm not mistaken, which means probably canceled or put on pause for a while. Gun is done for Masmori and Veterancy also online. Barely, I might add. 50% in climbing. Does Team 2... Yep, they are aware of the commander's location. They are aware that he's rooted to the spot. And, of course, now that I clicked off, I can't see the progress. But he should finish shortly. T3 started for Lou's comm here to the middle. Really going for that teching up of the comm himself. And in a 12-player game, it's a very flat map. I expect pretty much everybody to go in land, bar maybe one player on each team for air. Looks like that's going to be Team 1's Mimics. Team 2, it's going to be... Actually, it's going to be Lou, so it looks like it's going to be these two players right here. Everybody else looks like maybe just land focus for now, of course. In the middle of the map, we have, again, the shield range speed of Kane versus the gun and nano of Okpuk. 70 hit points a second regen versus the combined 40 hit points a second regen for Kane. There are some blazes here for him, as well as not really a lot of ill sheet that I would expect, but he's getting some T1 PD to try to shore up his defenses. Gun is done for Looper, which is very surprising. Looks like Masmori kind of just ignoring him, but it does look like he's like, okay, fine. I've left you alone for a little bit. You have your gun upgrade. You can leave now. He's like, no, I want my T2 upgrade. Go away. shield done here for Tabernacle. He has the sensor package online. He's going for advanced range now. That is what he can currently see on the map. That is a way bigger circle than I meant it to be. It is a decent portion of the map, given it's not a full 20 by 20, but hey, you know, a little bit is better than none. Octopuck drops into the yellow, but again, that is a little bit not undervalued, but underrepresented just because of the nano. Kane has the shield pretty much gone. So now we do see the hull plating on Kane's commander now taking a hit. And we do see forces in the south still raging between Team 1 and Team 2. A lot of focus down here from Team 2 specifically, really just shoving Team 1 back. We'll see how long this can keep up, though. T3 units are online, and now with the eco for Mimics now at 220, those Harbingers are going to be pumping out real quick. Again, that's partly due to the fact that Charlotte went straight for T2, which makes it a little bit more encouragement for Mimics to just, okay, fine, I'll just go T3 and be done with it kind of thing. And then the Harbinger is not doing the best, but again, this is just a lot of units here from Team 2. Another one's about to come off the assembling line. 3 of them. I mean, there's probably still going to be some mexes dead. Team 1 PD trying to be spammed up as quickly as possible. Most of the rhinos have now been dealt with. It's mainly just whatever else was mixed into this army here. I think one Harbinger was eventually killed off, but again, one Harbinger for, what, 10, 15 rhinos plus all the other units. I think Team 1 will be more than happy for that trade. We do see Octopuck dropping. Great. Again, but they're blazes and they don't do a lot of damage. Ilse's really packed the punch in terms of those T2 mainline units. Kane's shield is back online. First star event also online for him. We have Tabernacle starting to push back Amnesia. Hopefully he doesn't forget where he left those car keys. And then Masmori started for stealth in the north. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving weekend, or continued to enjoy it, I should say, because this video is releasing on Sunday. Had lots of food, still have leftovers and whatnot. I'm going to be eating pretty good for the next couple of days. All the leftovers and whatnot. My favorite probably is the stuffing. I don't know what it is, but stuffing is just super delicious to me. And I don't know why, it just is. Potatoes are good too, turkey's good too, ham, all that stuff, but it's something about the stuffing. Me and my wife are the same way. We just really love stuffing. Okay. We could have another kind of murder-suicide. We have some bombers inbound from Octopuck trying to even the odds a little bit. Octopuck dropping hit points pretty quickly. 82 hit points in second region. Another overcharge. 25 hit points is soon to be in range. Again, it could be flipped. Kane could try to secure the kill. No, but Octopuck gets veterancy to stay alive a little bit longer. Kane's pretty happy about this scenario. Oh, maybe he'll do it. No, maybe not. Kane hasn't dropped below 2,500, so he will be fine if Octopuck goes critical, which he will right now. There he is. And there he goes. Team 2 loses another player before 20 minutes, so now it's a 5v4 in favor for Team 1 for the first time in the game. However, T3 gunships are online for Team 2's Amnesia, so secondary air player for Team 2, and Kane has no AA anywhere in sight, and there's no ASFs inbound from Team 1, so even if Team 1 would be enjoying up the little calm advantage that they had, it's now gone, because Team 2 says absolutely not. No advantage for you, Team 1. Can't expect me to save you, says Mimics. Because of the fact that it's 2 players in air is what he's talking about. So now it is a 4v4 tied-up game. Team 1 briefly had the lead. When I say briefly, I mean, probably about 30 seconds or so. It really wasn't that bad. I bet you those gunships were inbound to try to save the comm, didn't get there in time, and said, we'll just avenge him anyways. It says, yeah, my AA died, says Ken, and even he points it out. He's like, yeah, my coverage died, and hey, I can't fault you for that kind of thing. I do like that. But it does look like Team 1's Mimics gets the 3rd base for him, once belonging to Kane. Team 2 looks like it's a little bit more evenly spread. We have 2 bases here for Lou, and then obviously 2 bases for System Failure. Everybody else on Team 1 has 1 base, and everybody on Team 2 also has 1 base. I would expect that if a player died on Team 2 somewhere, that the other player that doesn't have double base will get that double base, but that's just to follow the pattern and whatnot. Lots of wall sections for Team 2's Masmori. Don't know what he's doing up there with all that wall. Still building more wall. We have T3 started here for Outerloper. I sense a Ravager in his future. at least get a shield online. You have, some drones here, PD, TMD, that sort of thing. Just get, put a little T2 shield, covers some of that. It's something, I love me some shields. Obviously, if everybody, those of you who are aware, I love shields. They are probably one of the best things in the game. As long as you have power, of course. Don't have power, can't run nothing. Can't run mexes, can't run anything. Lastmore started his nano upgrade there to the north. Can't run a cloaking upgrade. Can't do that. Need your power for that. And teleporting. Might need power for teleporting as well. We do see Team 2 starting to exert a little bit more control over the middle of the map, at least in the air department. How is Mimics favoring it? He's on triple base. He's on 25 ASFs versus Team 2's Lou, who's on 13, and then an additional... That's about dead even for the air players. Again, you can think of it as triple base versus triple base. Again, some forces are being spent on land, defenses, that sort of thing, but generally it's how many bases do you own. But Team 2, again, they have a slight advantage, at least in the south. Those Percys are here to ruin everybody's day, and those Asylums are really wishing they did not move to the front line. There is a couple of sniper bots here, so they say, hey, but Percys go, absolutely not. One-tap those units real quick. Also one-tap that, almost one-tap that Harbinger too. So not looking good in the south for Team 1. We do see that Puck Jr. is underneath a little bit of bombardment, and he's going to get on a transport. It would be very sucky if his transport blew up. That would very much suck. Transport gets out of there. Now the question is, it looks like he's going southward to try to intercept some annoyances from Team 2. Is that a Ramba? Okay, it's not the crazy, nonsensical one. Okay, I was going to say, there's no way that one comp that quickly is going to kill off that SSU, but it wasn't the 400 hit points a second regen nonsense that the Cyberns have access to. I don't know what's more annoying, I think it's 52,000 combined hit points for the UEF or the 400 regen a second with Cybern. I feel like both obviously are annoying for different things, but I think, again, if you have enough firepower there, it doesn't really matter one way or the other. It's like this. It's like, okay, that SSU is now dead. A little bit of reclaim there for somebody, whoever grabs it. 5,000 mass. I mean, it's a decent amount of mass. Build a couple of T3 units out of that, at least. In the south, we do see Team 2's forces from System Failure starting to ignore that base for Mimics. It looks like they're just feeding the Horde hand at that point. Reclaim does favor Team 1, and let's see who... Oh, Puck Jr. is at 20, and Mimics is at 16. Yeah. We don't want to keep giving him more mass to spend on other things other than just the normal things. Let's see if you want is a surprise nuke somewhere, and it just ruins your day, ruins your lunch, dinner, breakfast, dinner, second breakfast, tea time thing, or whatever else event you got going on. In the south, more Percys starting to line up. I am surprised not to see many more bricks. I will note, speaking of other factions, the only faction comms that are left alive are Cybern, which means there are 4 potential opportunities for telemaser. We'll see if that actually happens. It hardly ever happens that every Cybern goes telemaser. And Puck Jr. here not looking too hot. Shield is about to fall. He's almost at almost 5-star vet. Looks like the Blazes come in to say hi and save his bacon a little bit. And his Harbingers here also to help out. Again, he's almost at that 5-star. We get another bump in hit points. Definitely look a little bit on the peckish side. Definitely needs to get some more, I don't know, something into his veins to get his regen up. Maybe get an advanced shield. Maybe just get a shield in general and go from there, or at least something. We do see we do see Mimic starting to push in a little bit here in the middle. We do see a Monkey Lord is done. We see a little bit more pushing in from the north from Team 1's Tabernacle. And again, he has access to Aeon Tech. Team 1 is a UEF and Aeon. Team 2, it's everything else but Aeon. So maybe we'll see a lot of GCs running around. Maybe we'll see a chicken or two. Again, only one Seraphim player. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't. We have seen the Monkey, of course. With 4 Cyberns, I would expect to see a Monkey at this point. 20 minutes on the clock, and Army from Team 1 is not going to have a fun day. I don't think they are aware of the Monkey. They are paying attention. They will see it. They will be aware of it now. Sniper's trying to fall back to cover the retreat of the remaining forces from Team 2's Lou, but he's not looking too good. Of course, he has to protect his air grid first and foremost. Secondary airplay of Team 2's Amnesia kind of starting to look like he's the main airplayer at this point, given the amount of air facilities he's building. And it looks like Mimics is actually just focusing southeasterly, again, avoiding the Monkey Lord, which is definitely a smart move to make, but also starting to cut into the system failures of main base. We do see Eco's about dead even between the teams as well, maybe slightly in Team 1's favor, but again, when I say slightly, I'm talking about very small percentage, not even maybe, because 10% would be 140 depending on how you cut it. So, yeah, definitely below that at a minimum. Maybe 4%. I mean, nothing really to write home about. And we do see the Harbingers continuing to push in. Team 2 on the ground doesn't have that much to deal with this. They have a couple of, they have Rhinos chasing the Harbingers, to be fair, but again, the Harbingers are the quickest T3 land unit in the game, at least the mainline ones. And those Rhinos, it's nice, but the shields haven't collapsed yet, so that's still a lot of hit points to chew through. And these units gain veterancy as well, so they're getting a little bit of regen. And look at this, they're just carving a path straight southward. I don't know if he's going to cut east or west or double back, but most of the Rhinos have been dealt with. T3 mech. Oh, that's going to hurt. That's 27 mass a second right there, just straight up gone. In the middle of the map, we do see the Monkey Lord is starting to push back. Team 1's Mimics forces are falling back, and his remaining forces being routed by an SACU. In the middle, we have Puck Jr. He did go for a shield upgrade. Again, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot. Wow. That's a lot of Harbingers for Puck Jr. Dang, what is that, a couple dozen? Oh, yeah, look at that. That's a couple hosts of Harbingers there. Not looking good there for Team 2's forces, especially because they're only at T2 at this point. At least those ones are. Harbingers still running amok for Team 1. Again, look at this. 5 mechs is there, 1 mech's there, 1 mech's there, 1 mech's already dead. And those 2 mechs is already dead. We're talking about maybe closing in on a dozen mechs is dead for Team 2. One of those was at least T3, so probably 100 mass a second Team 2's missing out on. That's going to not help the catching up for Team 1. Again, they're slightly behind in Eco, but not entirely, but it's not going to help things. In the north, the wall sections are now just going crazy. We have more wall sections over here. We have wall sections over here. We have wall sections here. Any other? Nope. No wall sections down here, unless you count brick walls, but they're not really in place yet. We have Percy's more than anything else. System failure over here hanging out with his T2 engineering suite. And the Harbingers are going south. Looks like they're going to try to maybe link up with the original Harbingers from Mimics. And looks like Mimics is going to lose that last one. But look at this. The Devastation's gone. 5 mexes, 7 mexes, 9 mexes. We'll probably say, double-digit mexes. That's a lot of mass to lose, even if it's at T2. T3, it's devastating, but T2, ooh, outer looper is about to cause some annoyances for Team 2, that's for sure. 23 minutes and 23 seconds on the clock, and we have a Billy Nuke spotted. Where is he? Oh, he's over there. There he is. He does have T3 engineering speed on board, which means he's going to load that Billy Nuke super quick. He might start firing it over here. We do see a couple of mexes already dead, so it looks like some missiles already broke through for Team 2. Sorry, from Team 1 on to Team 2. That Monkey Lord is still roaming the middle of the map. I don't really know what it's trying to do. It did stop a little bit of a push from Team 1, but honestly, I don't know where you're going or why you're doing what you're doing. The GC's attacking this. GC's going this way, so really there's kind of a void, which the Monkey Lord will exploit, which is nice to see. There's another Monkey Lord inbound, but it's not going to stop one GC. 2 monkeys, 1 GC. That's the good ratio that I like to see. And a little bit of fighting back in the Eco department here for Team 2, starting to try to shorten or shove that gap together. T2 PD going to be spammed up. T1 PD going to be spammed up. And Tabernacle kind of having some issues pathfinding. He has the regular shield and the advanced range and the sensor package online. We'll see if he utilizes that to his advantage or not. Overcharge comes in, takes out a decent chunk of hit points. Here comes the T1 PD. Absolutely annihilated. There's another overcharge. He only really needs one more. His shield is down. Oh, he doesn't get it out. He doesn't kill off that Monkey Lord in time, but his PD will be able to avenge him. Looks like it will be. There it is. So now for the first time in the game's history, Team 2, at least in this game's history, Team 2 is now winning the Comms Left Alive game, a 4-3 advantage in favor for Team 2. And honestly, that's another base to I feel like feeding the Horde hand is kind of what's happening here for Team 1. I mean, again, 1 player, 2,100, 4 bases. Again, talking about Eco, he's producing over half the mass of the entirety of Team 1. That is a lot. Granted, APM will definitely wear on him, to be fair, so he's going to have to be careful about that. But if he starts funneling that into bigger projects, the bigger projects that I like to see, the nukes, the artillery, the game render, we all like to see those, of course. See if he ends up going for it sooner, maybe than what he planned. But again, he's on quad base at this point. I mean, the only thing that's stopping him is, well, him. Billy Nuke lands right behind the Monkey Lord, does some damage to it. And the PD and the, and the Percy's open up, and that Monkey Lord is DOA. Dead on arrival. We do see Team 2's Lou now is working on a Megalith. That's a lot of focus on that. I do like the Soothsayer, though. Gives them a chunk of the map. Again, not a full 20 by 20, as I think I've already said. We'll go away with that. But look at that. Look at that chunk of a map. He only really needs, realistically, 4 to cover pretty much the entire map. But you'd really probably want to space them out, 3 on the side kind of thing to really maximize it. But again, with 4 Cyberns, you would expect to see at least maybe 1 more Soothsayer just built somewhere. I think with 4 Aeons on Team 1, you would expect to see at least an eye somewhere. So they're not blind, at least at the bare minimum. But it does look like 1 base was handed over to Puck Jr., so he's on double base now. So Mimics, still producing about the same amount of mass I mentioned earlier, 1.1 to 1.2. A lot of mass to have. We do see Team 2 has a Fat Boy and a Monkey Lord probably transferred over to System Failure. There is the Comm over here, Heavy Shield with advanced range and speed. That is Aeon Sniper Tank leading the charge. That is an awful number. And when I say awful, that's an awfully big number of Harbingers. Lots of little spider legs. I feel like they kind of copied the Cybern design a little bit with all the spiders. I mean, Cyberns, they kind of have that kind of spidery kind of, kind of flavor to them. Literally there's the Monkey Lord. There's the Monkey Lord. Spider Bot. Literally it's in the name. So I don't know what it is. The T3 headquarters looks like it has. That's not the right one. Has, spider legs like it's upside down kind of thing. Anyway, there is a nuke though. Oh, it's outbound from Team 2. That is definitely not what I thought that he would be doing. Looks like it's inbound for either the land army or the Comm itself. Comm does have an SMD and it just got loaded. That is unfortunate for Team 2. Which means unless this nuke, that's not going to fall short. Oh, look at that. Never mind. He had another SMD up there, which was loaded a little bit before the other one. So, backup. Backup is always nice. Does Team 1 have an SMD? Nope. Yep. Is Team 1 aware of where the nuke is? Yup. I'm assuming that's going to be the target of a little bit of annoyances. I did see a transport. What are you loading on these? Ooh, that's a lot of stuff on there. Looks like pillars. It's kind of odd that it's grabbing. Oh no, it's forced. No, okay. Read that. Oh, there's a. That's a return Billy nuke is what that is. Yeah, those buzzkills are real buzzkills. So anyway, Monkey Lord down in the North Harbinger, starting to chase it down. The Monkey Lord is the fastest T4 land unit in the game. Again, with 6 lanes, it definitely helps, but the Fat Boy trundles, the GC stomps, the chicken, pecks stuff out of the ground, and then the crab just kind of slowly walks forward because it really wants to walk sideways, but it can't. The second Fat Boy's online for Team 2. This is a little bit concerning. Third one is already starting to come online here shortly. Team 2 could invest in some mobile long-range firepower, and it's just clean, 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 clean. And again, with FAF boys, you have to do it in stages. You can't just full send it into the middle of a base and wipe everything out. You have to be very methodical about the Fat Boy usage. If you push in too much, then your Fat Boy dies. You push in not enough, and other things happen that are not good. Nothing like your mic cutting out on you halfway through talking is fun. I heard this noise. I was like, what was that noise? And then I looked at my OBS software and went, oh, my mic's not doing anything. That's not good. Anyways, a little bit of a hiccup there. Apologies for that. But there is a nuke inbound from Team 2's Amnesia. Second. Oh, did he do a little bit? He should be fine. That should be out of range. Kaboom! When I say out of range, I mean out of deathly range. He'll regen back up to full HP by the time really anything crazy happens. But his frontline base is gone. That's going to hurt. He does save his transports with a couple of Percies on some of them and pillars on the other. I do like the mix of both. I would like to see maybe a couple of parashields or something on board. Yes, I know that the Continental has its own shield technology on board. Just other tech would be nice, at least when it drops off forces. GC is down. Monkeywood. Oh, is it going to get out of range? It does get out of range, and there is the Megalith there, and there is the two Fat Boys there. There is a GC, and that Megalith has it's going to go on a date, and the Megalith doesn't like the idea, and GC's like, nope, you owe me. I saved you from that burning building. You have to go on a date with me. So, and that GC is coming into range. There it is. Laser is activated. GC is taking a lot of damage from these two Fat Boys right now. What is wrong with the ground? That's some artifacting, crazy nonsense, whatever. That doesn't look too hot on the ground, though. That looks kind of cool pattern, though, to be honest. But anyway, GC does end up killing off the Megalith with a ton of assistant fur fire. That's a lot of furs in that mix. Tabernacle says, what the heck's going on? Oh, there it is. Let's just say that GC probably should die at some point. Oh, look, there's two more GCs. Never mind. It's not the only one. That's a lot of... Again, Mimic's 1.4k mass income and climbing. He's at 220 in climbing for his ASF total. And Nuke, or... I thought I saw Nuke in there. Something was in there, but Megalith is down. Looks like they dropped some forces right on top of those units. And more Percies moving in to intercept, and honestly, those Percies are probably going to be more than enough. As long as they actually focus on the Megalith and not anything else, they should kill that. There's a Nuke inbound from Team 1 once again. I don't know if he's thinking the Megalith will go that way or not. Well, it's... Nope, that's going to be out of range. Nope, that's unfortunate. Does help kill off the remaining forces, though, so all the Percies can focus fire on the one big giant target that's coming right at them. Focus the big thing. Focus the big thing. There is a Soul Ripper online for Team 2's Amnesia. Almost feels like he's the main player play. Okay, sir, that's a lot of gunships. Are you going to do anything with those gunships? Because that's a lot of them. Like an absurd amount of ASFs. Not ASFs, sorry, of gunships. That's like killing off a couple of players kind of levels of gunships. We do see that third Fat Boy has emerged. Fourth Fat Boy is on its way. GCs are starting to fall back. Not enough AA coverage here for the likings of the GCs. I don't blame him. Definitely needs a lot more coverage there. GC also online for Puck Jr. What are you building back there? Oh, it's only T3 artillery. Okay, I was going to say, you're building a T4 back there. We do see disruptors coming online for Team 2's Lou as well. So both of them going for artillery. Same location in terms of, starting location. Both players doing the exact same thing. 32 minutes on the clock. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And again, if you haven't casted your vote on what you want the 25. Well, 2500, 2.5K, 2500 cast to be. Please let me know in that little post on the channel what you feel. If you don't care, there is always an option for no opinion, because I know some of you, or in particular sometimes for me, and it's like, I don't have an opinion as long as it's a good game. I feel like that's how most, at least some feel at a bare minimum, as long as it's a good game. It could be anything. I don't know, some hate dual gap, some don't like sentence, some don't like this, that, or the other thing. So, you know, there's spice of life, variety, flavors, that sort of thing. That's why I like to give the option, because I love to hear from each and every one of you, and I really do appreciate it, their participation. And I know YouTube appreciates it and recommends the channel to other people, so it's kind of a, you know, vested interest kind of thing. But anyway, 33 minutes on the clock. There is those 2 bugs, though, from Team 2's Amnesia that I keep zooming in and out on, and let's see if they're actually going to do anything. There's Continentals over here with a bunch of versus on board. Yep, probably should land those. That would be good. Unfortunately, I think the bugs have spotted them, and oh, okay, they're going to go away now. Bye. Oh, the SMD's down, which means the nuke can easily blow that base up. Is his nuke loaded? It is not. There is an artillery piece starting to shoot at it, though. Looks like he's assisting the nuke launching, not the SMD, but the shield loading or recharging or whatever. ASAP's coming in to mop up maybe a couple of those whalers. Maybe they grab one, but not really worth the effort at that point. Shield is, oh no, does hit the power a little bit. More shields are being built now. Looks like that will be enough. ACU, nope, that was a Billy nuke. Again, they made different sounds for different things. Another SSU, something dies over there. How's the nuke? Nuke's doing fine. More shields coming online. That's another power generator gone. How is Amnesia's power? That's the main. Ooh, probably should not lose a power generator or 2, because that is going to hurt. It's only 1 artillery piece, so they could probably deal with just build maybe 2 more shieldings and probably call it a day, as long as they're spread far enough apart. It does look like the shield is being regened as well, or assisted, so that should keep that shield online. Not necessarily indefinitely, but definitely a little bit longer. Oh, and I love this, by the way. Usually players will chain their artillery together. It does look like Mimics is taking the approach of let's spread them out. And again, it costs more resources and whatnot to do that, because you kind of save on, you know, mass and power when you combine, like, oh, you're sharing 2 power, you know, generators, and put the artillery here, and then we can save a little bit on shielding. And never can have too much shielding. I don't think there's ever been a game ever where I'm like, nope, that's too much. No, it's never enough. Because the nuke doesn't care. Nuke just goes straight through all of that shielding. So, could never have enough. Enough shielding is impossible. We do see gunships are going to be focusing the transports. We'll note that the gunships can straight up just target the transports. And one transport does end up not actually making it to its destination, but the Percy drop is being very effective here from Team 1's outer loper. Again, it's a 3v4 in favor for Team 2, and those Percys doing very well for themselves, ripping stuff apart, just saying, hey, let's cut down on travel time and drop them right on top of them, right behind them, and call it a day. And now we come into the more boring part of the game in terms of the long-range artillery. Eventually, artillery games kind of just become a, hey, let's just shoot at each other, because if we don't stop shooting at each other, if we do stop shooting at each other, then the other one's just going to have time to build up some shielding or build up defenses or build up literally anything. So we can't let them have a break at all. That is a problem with artillery wars, is kind of the tunnel vision that happens. Second artillery piece for Team 1 is a little bit under 50. Team 2, that one's barely. Don't do that. Don't have power issues, because you need power. SMD was not built in time or / loaded in time, so that base is kaput. But again, nothing terrible was lost. I say the only big thing is probably the mexes and the other SMD, but I think actually no mexes were lost in that explosion. So that's actually kind of looking out for Team 1's Mimic, saying, hey, I don't have to lose power, but I still get all the... What are you doing down there? Okay, you're already half reloaded. It looks like somebody on Team 1 is just constantly just... watch out. He's going in for the artillery piece. There it is. We have Ravagers being built. Ravagers open fire. Shielding's going to take a second to chew through. Second Ravager's opening up. He's got to teleport immediately to get out of there. Oh, and all the stingers say absolutely. Oh, but some of them died in the explosion on the way over there, but it does not matter. All of them are dead, though. All the stingers are dead, but the comm of Team 2's Masmoria is dead. And look at that, triple base. Sorry, double base, double base, double base. We have triple double base, or double triple. Is it a double triple or is it triple double? I think it's a triple double. I think it's a triple double. Because a double triple would be 2 players have triple base in that context, so that makes sense. But now it is a tied game once again at 37.5 minutes roughly on the clock. Team 1, again, the eco is at 2.5. Team 2 is 2.4. It's probably going to come down to whether or not Team 2 can take this slight advantage in having artillery online that Team 1 does not. Their second artillery piece is almost in the green. And Team 1's secondary now, almost now their first, is coming back into the green, or going to be in the green. So again, Team 2 would have been behind slightly in the artillery game, but now they're fully in the lead. We do see the fur starting to catch up to that megalith, and again, megaliths are designed for big bulking units. It's like having a couple of Percy's guns strapped to the top of a big giant linkuloid. Oh, did he move in time? Oh, he might have moved in time, but it's definitely going to singe a little bit. Oh, 2 of them got hit by that explosion. They wouldn't have killed him, though. The Billy Nuke doesn't do that much damage. But it still would have hurt nonetheless. You don't want one dying, causing a chain reaction. Are those the yep, those are the regen nonsense ones. Oh my goodness. We have 4 GCs, 3 fatties versus 5 fatties. And again, the purpose of these GCs are not to win the fight. They are meant to take up the damage that the other fatties can get in range, or stay in range of those ones and wipe them out. Now we see 1 fatty is almost dead. Just barely. That one is dead. So once that one dies, it'll be an even playing field at that point. But the GCs are continuing to just say, nah, we got this. Don't you worry. We have a nuke started for Team 2 system failure. Don't know if that's going to get finished. Another Billy Nuke lands to the north for Team 2. Oh, sorry, for Team 1 on Team 2. I keep doing that. And artillery. Ooh, that's a chunk of air grid gone. That's not good for Team 1. How's your power grid going? Everyone's power is kind of a little lackluster this game. Or at least the ones that I've checked so far. And it looks like a little bit of the air grid is also lost for Team 2. It's a little bit of trading. Nothing too crazy. It just will come down to ASFs produced at that point, if an air fight ensures. And 3 fatties versus 4, but 1 of them isn't engaged. The other 3 are kind of just shooting at whatever. So that's not great. The GCs again just pummeling through system failures base. Not looking good. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of whalers under there, and Team 2 is going to be a little bit careful about that. Wouldn't be too crazy to think about. We do see a megalith over here dealing with more Percy's. Again, not going to win that fight. Even if it kills off most of them, it still will lose. Trust me, it happens all the time. Those Percy's are so annoying when it comes to that sort of thing. If they're being used against you. There's 3 fatties. That one's heavily damaged. That one is now gone. But again, Team 2 had a 2-to-1 advantage. And now that 2-to-1 advantage will soon be over. There's the second fat boy dead. There's the third fat boy dead. Yep, there it goes. All the fat boys and all the GCs are dead. But again, there's so much momentum down behind Team 1's attack. Again, it might just take one little push and it's going to favor one way or the other. The shielding is starting to not look good for Team 2 overall. Kind of taxed to the max on power. Besides Lou, everyone's kind of taxed to the max in terms of power. We do see Team 2's Soul Rippers here. Air fight happens. Got to switch that back to Observer. Team 1 wins that fight. No contest. And with that, 40 minutes on the clock. Unless something crazy happens and all the ASFs randomly die, that's 250 ASFs that are just roaming the map. Probably not a good idea to just let stuff wander the map, because something might come and say hi, and that's probably not going to be an ASF that's shooting at you from the sky. Probably not. We do see the the Soul Rippers helping out a decent amount with the fatties. There's still 3 remaining, and those Soul Rippers, they're still there. Those bugs are not dead yet. Heavily damaged, I might add. This one barely has veteran save, probably. wouldn't have survived without the veterancy, to be honest. And Soul Ripper 2,000 hit points. There's a little bit of AA, not a lot, but enough to be a little concerning because that bug just died straight up. Second bug is about to collapse, and there goes that one. And both of those wrecks, I mean, technically they're on Team 2 side of the map, and Team 2 could probably push in for those, but they might just get hit with a bunch of casualties, and it's probably not going to work out. Oh, look, a second telemaser has been started by Team 2. Oh, yep, there it is. Starts with the teleporter. That is the smarter thing to do, though, is start with the teleporter because it is the more taxing power of the two, if you can help it. So that way, if something happens, then at least you have the bigger of the two knocked out. Artillery should be landing. Oh, it wasn't going to prevent the nuke from launching, but it probably would have been fun to watch the nuke launcher, obviously fire and then just get blown to smithereens. Where are you? Oh, you're going down there. I don't see. I was just telling everybody that's just, if you take this out, I don't know how much more that's going to do at this point, because all the everything is fine. All the everything is just kind of, it's there. It just exists. Yeah, you're going to take out some land forces. The main focus is the reclaim, to be honest, and there comes the nuke. It does wipe out a ton of harbingers, kaboom. But honestly, we're talking about over 500,000 mass on the map, and it's the everywhere. It's not just on Team 2. It's not on Team 1. It's the everywhere on the map, and some reclaim just got nuked, so I don't know if that's the biggest good idea. But, if you can't have it yourself, then deny it. That is always a good idea. Artillery gets hit by Team 1's artillery. Those Dukes have been on it. Looks like the second Duke. The first Duke was rebuilt into the second Duke, or third Duke, or whatever number we're on at this point. I can't keep track. They all name each other the same thing, so too bad it wasn't like King Louis, and then King George, and then King Henry, and then King XYZ or whatever, and then you're fine. But no, they have to name each other the same, and now it's like Lord Farquaad the 8th or something. Could you imagine? Just crazy. Anyway, 43 minutes on the clock and climbing. Not that much remains of Team 2's outer forces. Oh, and Puck Jr. is killed off by Amnesia. And then Amnesia is killed off by Mimics just immediately after that by some Harbingers. That's that telemaser coming in handy. So we'll call that a murder-suicide at that point, because it pretty much happened that way. And if it wasn't going to happen, it was pretty darn close. But now it's a 2v2 game, and again, one false move could be it. We have 3 artillery pieces. Maybe we'll see something else from Team 2. We have Team 1's 2 artillery pieces. And, of course, the transport just jitterbug back and forth. It is helping. Engineers are assisting shielding. That's going to keep them alive a little longer for sure. And almost one taps that Monkulo, and that'll be more reclaim for Team 1. If the artillery falls, that might just be game, to be honest. Ooh, that's a 1-2 punch for the T3 air headquarters. Yes, that was. Oof. You have enough. No, you never have. Oh my, that's a lot of A. Oh my goodness, that's what he was talking about. That's a. Why? Why do you have 100 cougars? Those don't mean cougars. Those are cougars. You're running a zoo over there at this point. Jeez. And that artillery is pretty well synced up. Team 2's is it's hit or miss in terms of being synced up, but I'd say it's pretty darn close. It just might be an optical illusion given the distance that they have to travel on the map, sort of thing. That's probably what it is. Because they look pretty synchronized to me. Shielding's starting to collapse. Team 2, I don't think they're prioritizing shielding. Again, the nuke is up to the north, and it's still alive, but it's not doing too hot. Oh, look, there's a Scathus here. I wonder what they're going to try to hold up for long term. Yes, I did notice the Maver that was being built by Team 1's Mimics. I did notice that at this point. But again, like I said, it's just all going to come down to maybe 1 or 2 counter moves, regular moves, and that's probably going to be the game right there. The artillery is definitely going to play a key role one way or the other, because if Team 2 loses it, they have a little bit of army presence on the ground, but that's not a whole lot at this point. Team 1, again, same kind of thing, but it just depends, like I said. In the south, That's a lot of brick wall. Probably almost getting up too close to brick house at that point. 45 minutes and climbing. Again, like a... Oh, transport drops forces right there in the middle of Team 2's base. Looks like the artillery took out at least 2 of the other artillery. And everything's being thrown at this. Oh, shield pops back online for a second. This is not going to help Team 2 by any means. Nice drop by Team 1's outer looper. Just seals the fate. I think the artillery already got shot down or destroyed by Team 1's, but still we have GCs moving in. Lou is being chased down. He actually might just be fine straight up. I don't think there's anything to worry about on his end. Strap bombers running around. Also, of course, limiting all of the annoyances. That fat boy is down. 2 remain. 46 minutes on the clock. Looks like Mimics is... Oh, yes, and I was aware of the desync, but again, I felt like at this point in the video, or this point in the cast, I mean, realistically, we can kind of tell which way it's kind of favoring. I mean, we have some experimentals running around. We still have the nuke online for Team 1, but honestly, I just don't think Team 2 has it. Again, oh, there goes Team 2 system failure. Heat control Ks. Nuke is inbound. I don't know if that nuke's actually going to land at this point. Yep, there it goes. Oh. A little bit of some missing going down for that at SMD, and with the, like I said, with the death of 1 more player on Team 2 and all this stuff to manage, Lou, GG's in the chat as well, and he throws in the towel. I don't blame him. And that is the game here, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. MVP, I mean, Mimics did a very good job with what he was given. It was an interesting move going for the confirmed kill on Team 1. Maybe things have been different if Eco Player was still here, but he was probably worried about having to deal with 2 2100s instead of just 1 or something. But you know, who knows what the motives are. Somebody probably would know what the motives were. But again, it's probably a trading 2100 for 1600 kind of thing, and Team 2 kind of came up on top for that. But that's not the end-all be-all, I guess, and it just goes to show you. Just a couple of little things makes the difference. The artillery plus the comm drop. The comm drop. The first to drop definitely sealed Team 2's fate in. And then again, at that point, or this point, it's really academic. You have the megalith over there, the 3 over there, the 3 over there. And again, it was going to be a lot to micro, and there was no way he was going to be able to do all that, even in a 2v1 scenario like this. So just the way the cookie crumbles. Thank you so much for watching the very end of the video. Again, I don't really have a pick for MVP this game. Let me know if you have one or not, and I will see all of you in the next one.